Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Carrie Manning with Heritage Dental Spa and Salon.
And I'm Will Wareham with WHHI TV. We're coming to you today from the River House on Spring Island. That brings us to our first guest, Mr. Jay Gratton, who is the golf course superintendent here on Spring Island.
And our second guest is Mr. Dan Dubrell. He is the GM and COO here on Spring Island.
And our final guest is John Strother, who is the broker in charge for Spring Island Realty. So stick around for more 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
(843 TV), where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
(843 TV),
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV. We're now joined by Jay Gratton, who is the golf course superintendent here on Spring Island. Jay, thank you very much for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. So we've had the opportunity to take a look at the golf course. It's the old Tabby Links, right?
That's correct.
That's certainly one of a kind golf course. And I understand you went through some pretty extensive updates that took place a couple of years ago. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, we did. It was back in 2012. The golf course had turned 20 years old, and there's a lot of things that started to deteriorate over time.
Sure.
And the irrigation system was kind of the biggest factor of us trying to do something. So then we decided if we're going to redo the irrigation system, we might as well tweak the golf course a little more. So we got the Palmer Course Design Company to come in.
Okay.
And they originally did the golf course, so we wanted them to come back and do the changes and stuff. So we did a lot of great things on the golf course. We redid all the greens, redid all the bunkers, changed a few tees around, and just kind of updated the golf course from what it was, and also with the irrigation system. So now we're kind of back up to, updated standards or modern standards of where we should be.
How long did that take?
It took about 7 months to complete.
Okay.
And from the time we shut it down by the time we opened back up. So it was a long summer.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, golf is an important part of residents' life down here in the Lowcountry, isn't it?
It is. It's a very important part, and I think that's one of the main reasons people come down here, obviously, for not just golf course on Spring Island, but it's a main concern for them.
Absolutely.
Jay, the nature component's a really important part of the community. It's also an important part of the golf course, I understand. And I understand there's a lot of native plants on the golf course. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it is. We try to blend the golf course in with nature. So it's a walk in the park almost, a walk through nature with the golf course. When we did the redo in 2012, we took out over 20 acres of turf. And when we took out that 20 acres of turf, we changed all that turf into native plants, a lot of sandy areas, a lot of native different, just trying to get, just trying to help things kind of blend a little better than we did before. So it kind of made that, so with all these native plants and stuff, it just kind of makes it more looking, here on the coast, more beachy looking, more linksy looking and stuff. So that's what the biggest part of it was.
Cool.
Well, that to me is just one of the great things about the course, is especially all the sandy waste areas. And you were telling me that you actually go around and collect seeds from native plants and propagate them and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing that once the guys figured out they weren't weeds anymore, and that they were native plants, we go around and did collect a lot of seeds and plant them out and just try to see if we can grow them on our own, and we've been very successful.
Well, it just, y'all did a fantastic job. I mean, I had a golf course photographer here about a week ago, and he spent 3 days here. He says it's his favorite golf course, and he takes photographs of golf courses around the world. I mean, it's really, high praise for him. Yeah, he was very complimentary. And I think one thing that's really neat is the Audubon certification, Audubon Sanctuary. Is that
correct? It's Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary Program for golf. We've been certified since 1999, and it's a program basically that the Audubon helps golf courses protect the environment, and also helps preserve the natural heritage of the game of golf. And so it's an award-winning education and certification program. And they do a lot of things with us. And the great part about the Audubon and what we do here, we have our own kind of Audubon that kind of self-sanctions, I guess, at the Lowcountry Institute. And so I work day to day with them and in doing what we do. So trying to be certified for the Audubon was really pretty simple. because it's, a lot of guys try to go through it, but I think it's the fear of going through this Audubon process and so, oh my gosh, we got to try to do this, we got to make sure we're safe and doing everything. It's really pretty simple. What we do is it's our day-to-day life, and just trying to blend nature in what you're doing and making sure everything is up to the right standard, so we're protecting the environment, especially with our water quality, how we drain our water, how everything goes, so we're not affecting everything else. So that's how with the native grass and everything, trying to blend everything together, we try to blend nature with our Audubon too.
Wow, they've done a great job of it. Just fantastic.
And speaking of awards, the golf course is rated in one of the top 100 of the country, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very, very.
That's a huge compliment.
Yes.
Explain to everybody how the courses are rated. How does that work?
Well, the biggest part about trying to get your golf course rated, you have to have people come here. You have to have raters come, and that's been the biggest problem. Trying to people coming out here and trying to find us, because we always say we're a hidden beauty back out here, a hidden gem. And once we did the redo, we started getting more and more raters to come out, and the more and more raters you have, the better chance you have to be obviously rated and have a better scale.
It's always a catch-22 when you have like the perfect little hideaway. You want to get the word out, but you want to protect it at the same time.
You want them to come, we don't want them to come. And so they came out and rated, and there's different different companies or different golf magazines that do rate these rate golf courses. Golf Week magazine had us rated in the top 100, and they have a criteria of about 10 different criteria. One is the routing of the golf course. One is the how the shaping was done, and there's a couple other ones of the variety of the par 3s and par 4s and par 5s, the natural beauty, the landscape, the ecology, and one of the bigger ones is a walk in the park. And I think
it really is. I mean, I'm not a golfer. My husband's a huge golfer, but that's a golf course that if you're not a golfer, you could still just ride on the golf cart and totally enjoy the view from every ounce of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that say, well, these guys are playing slow up there, but they're just enjoying the day.
They're just relaxing. Why wouldn't they?
And there's a lot of people that do out there, and they have their fishing poles on the back, so they'll play a few holes and they'll stop and they'll fish.
Oh,
and
nice.
Some things. Yeah, so it's just really a fun thing. So that's kind of where they go. So the whole process of rating, people just got to come see it and look at it and stuff. And when they do, they kind of fall in love with it.
Well, I mean, what's not to fall in love with?
It's true. It's very true.
I was so excited when they said we're coming back out at Spring Island. I was like, I'll be there. Well, speaking of how tough it is, do you have a favorite hole?
Yeah, good question. I think that 17 is our traditional signature hole and stuff. So I'm gonna go with hole number 11, and I think hole number 11 has two sets of tees, so there's two different angles, and so you get two different views from whatever set of tees, from the right side or left side, and it's completely different. During the redo and the change, we really changed that one hole the most. I think that was the most drastic change and stuff. And there's a lot of bunkering, the shaping, everything, the shadows and stuff at night or early in the morning and stuff really sets that one off. So I think that's my favorite one.
All right, Jay. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Make sure that you get information and come out and check out the golf course. And make sure you come right back for more 843 TV.